Once upon a time, in a land far away, a young couple lived without children but yearned for a baby girl. Soon, the young lady was expecting. One day, she saw a beautiful lettuce garden next door and became consumed by a craving for it, believing she would die without it. She lost her appetite and a great deal of weight, worrying her husband. He promised to get her some lettuce, despite the danger of the mighty witch who owned the garden. He climbed the wall, entered the garden, and picked a handful of lettuce. His wife ate it with great pleasure and felt better, but it wasn't enough. The next day, he returned to the garden, but the witch was waiting. She confronted him for stealing, and he explained his pregnant wife's craving. The witch, angered, punished him by demanding their baby in exchange for the lettuce. Out of fear, he immediately accepted. Months later, the baby girl was born, and the witch came to take her, naming her Rapunzel after the type of lettuce her mother craved. The witch cared for Rapunzel, and when she turned 16, she was a beautiful young girl. The witch placed her in a tall tower in the middle of the woods, with only a small window at the very top and no staircase. The witch never cut Rapunzel's long, blonde hair. To visit she would call, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let your golden hair down." Rapunzel would lower her braided hair, allowing the witch to climb up. This continued for many years. One day, a prince hunting in the forest heard a beautiful singing voice. Mesmerized, he rode towards the sound, arriving at the tower. He saw no stairs or way to climb. He returned daily, drawn by the voice, but couldn't figure out how to ascend. One night, he saw the witch approach, call out, and Rapunzel let down her hair. The next day, after sunset, the prince went to the tower and mimicked the witch's call. Rapunzel, seeing someone other than her mother for the first time, was initially scared but soon comforted by the prince's admiration for her voice. Everything went smoothly for a while, and the witch remained oblivious. Finally, the prince asked Rapunzel to marry him, and she happily accepted. However, she had no way to climb down. She had an idea. The prince could bring a piece of fabric each time he visited, and she would tie them together to make a rope. But one day Rapunzel accidentally slipped, mentioning that the prince climbed her hair faster than her mother. The witch, realizing her betrayal, flew into a rage. She cut Rapunzel's beautiful golden hair and banished her to a far-off desert. That night, the witch waited in the tower for the prince. When he called, she let down Rapunzel's cut hair. Unaware, the prince climbed. Upon seeing the witch instead of Rapunzel, he realized something terrible had happened. As the witch charged him, he stumbled and fell from the tower. Thanks to the bushes below, he survived, but thorns poked his eyes, leaving him blind. The blinded prince wandered the forest, weeping and feeding on plants and wild fruits. He walked until he reached the desert where Rapunzel lived. Suddenly he heard a sweet voice singing, instantly recognizing it as Rapunzel. He called out to her, and she, recognizing his voice, ran towards him. They found each other, and Rapunzel hugged her prince, shedding tears of joy. Her tears fell into the prince's eyes, and a miracle happened. His eyes opened, and he could see again. Rapunzel was overjoyed. Together, they went to the prince's kingdom, where they were greeted with joy and lived happily ever after.